For decades, security engineers had this one simple rule: find a bug, patch it, and it stays patched. But AI has completely shattered that rule. So today, we're going to dive into why securing AI is a totally different reality, what some are calling a fluidic nightmare that's changing absolutely everything.
Wow, this quote really says it all, doesn't it? The model that's collapsing isn't just a piece of software. It's our entire philosophy for fixing vulnerabilities. That comfortable, straight-line process we've relied on for a whole generation, yet it's gone. So let's take a step back. What did that old world even look like?
All right, so let's take a quick trip back in time to the predictable, almost comfortable world of traditional software security. This is the world that today's security experts grew up in and mastered. I mean, just look at how beautifully simple this was. You find a vulnerability, say a classic SQL injection flaw, a developer writes a patch, you test it to verify it works, and you're done. And the keyword here, the one that matters most, is deterministic. The same input always gave you the same output. A fixed bug stayed fixed. You check the box, and you move on.
And of course, to manage all this, security teams built this incredible arsenal of tools: SAST, DAST, IAST, you name it. It was a mature, stable system for a predictable world. But, as you can probably guess, that world is about to get completely shattered.
Okay, so now let's talk about how everything changes. This is where our story takes a very sharp turn. See, large language models don't just add a new wrinkle to the problem. They fundamentally break the old system. This isn't just an evolution. This is the paradigm shift.
And this, right here, this slide just perfectly captures that conflict. We're moving from a straight, predictable line to a chaotic, looping mess. We're going from deterministic to fluidic. We're going from a world of permanent fixes to one where, well, they're just frustratingly temporary.
And this is the crucial point, this new cycle. You don't really patch AI in the old sense, you build guardrails. Think of them like filters or rule sets you put around the AI. But then a new version of the model is released and bam, suddenly your guardrails are totally useless. And what's even worse, vulnerabilities you thought you had fixed months ago are suddenly back. It's this terrifying, never-ending loop that just keeps going. This is the kind of thing that keeps security engineers up at night. It honestly feels like some kind of dark magic, but it's not. There are real technical reasons for this fluidic nightmare.
So the big question is, how on earth can a problem you've already solved just reappear with no new code, no changes on your end? Let's break that down.
Okay, so it really boils down to three main things. First, every time an LLM gets updated, its entire understanding of language shifts. It's like its whole worldview changes. Second, a smarter model can actually get better at figuring out malicious intent, which lets it cleverly bypass your guardrails. And third, all this leads to regression, where old problems just spontaneously pop back into existence.
And if you want proof, look at this number. It's staggering. A 2024 study found that after a model was upgraded, almost 59% of the safety prompts actually became less accurate. Just let that sink in for a second. The model got smarter, but your safety actually got worse, all because its fundamental understanding of your instructions had changed.
And because of this crazy fluidic nature, all our old trusted tools are starting to fail us. Static analysis can't find bad code because the problem isn't in the code, it's in the model's interpretation. And dynamic analysis really struggles because AI is probabilistic, not deterministic. An attack might work 1 minute and fail the next. It's like trying to find a typo in a book that completely rewrites itself every single time you turn the page. It's impossible.
Okay, so the old way is broken. The situation sounds pretty dire, right? But it's not hopeless. We just need a whole new playbook. So how do we actually operate in this chaotic new world? And the new foundation of AI security, the bedrock of it all, is something called continuous regression testing. You have to work under the assumption that every fix you implement is temporary. So after every single model update, you must automatically retest every single vulnerability you've ever found. This isn't some audit you do once a quarter. It's constant, 24/7 vigilance. This also means we have to completely change how we track bugs. You can't just say, oh, CVE whatever is fixed. That's not good enough anymore. Now you have to be way more specific, something like prompt injection number 47 was patched with guardrail A on model version 3.5, but we've confirmed it's broken again on model 4.0. It's way more complex for sure, but it's absolutely necessary. So the survival guide is pretty clear. Number 1, you have to automate your regression testing. Number 2, Build that testing right into your development pipeline, your MLOps. And number 3, you have to constantly monitor the AI's behavior for any strange or anomalous outputs.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't some niche theory. OWASP, these are the folks who literally write the book on web security. They now list prompt injection as the #1 vulnerability for LLM applications. Their official guidance basically says there is no perfect patch, only continuous ongoing management.
All right, so let's bring this all home. The single biggest takeaway here is a fundamental shift in mindset. In the world of AI, the job of security is never, ever done.
So this is your checklist for survival right now. Organizations have to accept that fixes aren't permanent. They need to implement continuous testing immediately. They have to build and maintain these huge libraries of old attacks just to retest against them. They must version everything, the models, the guardrails, all of it. And this is huge. They absolutely have to retrain their security teams for this new AI-centric world.
And this quote, it really captures the human side of this massive shift. For an entire generation of security professionals, their whole job was about creating certainty. You find a problem, you fix it, and you know it's fixed. That certainty, it's gone. And it's been replaced by the constant, chaotic, fluidic motion of AI. So, I'll just leave you with this final thought. Your AI is getting smarter and evolving every single day. The real question you have to ask yourself is your security evolving right along with it? Or is it being left behind to drown in that fluidic nightmare?